¿qué pasa, gente? Bienvenidas, bienvenidos a los juegos del Tito. Estamos aquí con Genshin Impact. En el episodio anterior hicimos lo del duelo de las cartas, ¿vale? Y en este dijimos que íbamos a iniciar la misión de Intermedio 3. Entonces es la que vamos a hacer ahora, que se llama Una historia aún por terminar. Ve al santuario así que nada, vamos a ello. Como os dije, este evento, esta misión va del Errante, ¿vale? O sea que vamos a viajar hasta aquí. Y bueno, ¿qué tal estáis? Espero que estéis muy bien. Ya sabéis, como os digo siempre, que si os está gustando podéis parar un instante para dejarme likes, comentarios, suscribiros al canal, compartir el vídeo, etcétera.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatarasuna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's...
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the...
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it.
Okay.
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here's just going about their business. Great! Let's go find out what this Tatarasuna mystery is all about.
La transposición de la Génesis. Habla con los dos eruditos. A ver, vamos a ver qué se cuentan.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started,
Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places.
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa.
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in the...
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah,
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time...
the Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but...
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Escaramuchia, eso. Que decía yo escaramuch, no. Escaramuchia.
No! Paimon just meant...
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon...
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the...
Wait! You're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty...
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting...
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know.
Bueno, pues hemos sacado en claro que Escaramucha estaba en Inazuma hace 400 años.
Okay, then, even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Vale. Vamos adentro. Estas misiones del intermedio son bastante chulas en general. Aunque tienen algunas partes que son un pelín engorrosas y aburridas, pero por lo general está muy bien. Nahida.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings. And you
Bueno, mientras no te nos conviertas en un robot gigante,
why not join forces with us?
todo bien.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
all right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Anda.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So... You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the balladeer used to be one of them, he was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, so I asked the balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and... Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on.
How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero.
Paimon's still worried about this idea.
I was gonna contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he can. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Bueno, pues oye. La Paimon esta es que es así. Pero bueno. Todo el mundo merece una segunda oportunidad, ¿no? De hecho, ya lo podemos jugar como personaje, o sea que...
It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Iba a preguntar si me puedo caer, pero sí, me puedo caer. Ya son unos cuantos episodios jugados a estas alturas.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Piripipi. A ver si a lo largo de esta misión nos dejan jugar con Escaramuch. Escaramuchia.
So this is the inside of Irminsul.
Y os enseño la habilidad esa suya que es increíble.
I've never seen anything like this.
Que le hace explotar como si fuera
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat.
un
Every
Buda.
bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted.
Let's go. Stay close.
Hey, so say we did go running off it. What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe...
Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango?
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Pues sí.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems...
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is...
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gesse got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Didn't Ahita tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something... Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well...
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now, even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it had...
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up, and recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely...
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to...
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
Vaya.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. At least for the first few days. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But...
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
Da, el doctor. Pero el doctor no era así, ¿no? No sé.
Fatui? Who... What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology?
Madre mía, los Fatui, ¿eh?
Look how even
Estar en
the
todas, macho.
righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else in...
If you give him my heart, he has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
Este sí es el
Creating a
doctor, ¿eh?
gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What? I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore!
Se ha vuelto loco.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he... But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion. The mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as the balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim?
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
El misterio de Tatarasuna.
Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Vale, y ahora, ¿qué hay que hacer?
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I get
Huh? About what?
the reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul.
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him some...
Bueno, pues so far so good, como dicen los ingleses. De momento bien, ¿no?
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here. Even though... we're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon...
Vale. Bueno, pues más o menos lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí, yo creo. 40 minutillos llevamos, más o menos. Creo. Yo no tengo reloj. Sí, lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí. En el próximo seguimos. Porque como ya dijimos, estas misiones son de 4 a 5 horas. O sea que la voy a dividir en 4 o 5 vídeos. Y así no se hacen eternos. Así que nada más. A ver si pasa algo. Y si no, nos vamos.
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and no, I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already in real... It's like... Imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no... So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon's so confused. Huh? Sorry. Paimon accidentally... but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever actually succeed, right? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we... Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, Paimon, so, how about, we list all our favorite... Alright, Paimon will start. First dish.
Es que...
Munstack grilled fish.
Oh.
Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers.
Sobredosis de Paimon.
And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Also, Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls. What do we... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking... Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though.
No me digas que se ha borrado, efectivamente, de la historia.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something... So, the balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a... Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Find my Paimon, but... Is everything...
Bueno, pues por aquí lo vamos a dejar. Que justo acaba la primera parte, por así decirlo. Danza de la destrucción. Habla con Amenoma Tougo. Bueno, pues el siguiente será eso. Así que nada, espero que os esté gustando. Sed buenas, sed buenos, sed felices. Un saludín. Chao, chao.